So I want to talk about my experience with the Cookie Monster pants girl. And I honestly, it's so funny to me because I thought I was like the only one who went through this. I don't know why I thought I was the only one who went through this, because I would meet these people at different schools, but like I didn't realize how much these people like was causing havoc in other people's lives. Because oh my goodness, these girls would always try to like fight me, right? Because I'm they would be like, I don't know, like they wanted to like appear like tough, I guess I would say, because it didn't matter actually. Even when I lived in Baltimore, when I lived in a county, it really didn't matter. They will always like try to use me to get points because like I don't know, because I'm mixed, but I'm like soft spoken and I'm like really quiet, and like I'm just like a bubbly person. Like that's just my personality. I can't change even when people make me mad. That's just who I am at my core. And they would use me to get like, what's it called, like brownie points. Like they'd be like, they will call, oh my goodness, they walk up to me and be like, oh, well, I'm mixed too. And I'm like, okay. Or they'd be like, I'm blacker than you. And I'm like, that's just weird. Don't talk to me like that. And like, they would try to start stuff with me and like try to fight me. And like, I know I wasn't the only person of color who went through this, because I would see them do it to other people. But like, they will walk up to me and be like, oh, I want to fight you. And I'm like, who are you? And they'd be like, oh, I just want to fight you. One girl grabbed my hair and like, she was insane. It's not funny, but she was like, wee, like I was like, oh, get off of me. And then like I threw like water on her, and they were like, I don't know, I had so many crazy experiences with these girls. Like, okay, one girl walked up to me and was like, oh yeah, well, this wasn't the only one girl actually, but I remember she walked up to me and I was like, she was going to that school longer than me, and then I was kind of like newer to the school, so like I was meeting everybody, and everyone at school was very diverse school. I loved it. And she was like, oh yeah, like oh, you're gonna be my friend. I was like, I was taken aback because she said it in like an aggressive tone, like, yeah, you're gonna be my friend. And I was like, I don't even know you, hi. And then she was like, yeah, but like you have to be my friend. I was like, I don't know you and I don't have to do anything. And she was like, but you're mixed. Like, I don't know, it was like they had like this fixation of mixed people having to accept them. And I know I'm not the only one who went through that. I've asked other people and they were like, yeah, like I've experienced that too. But it's just like, I don't know, it's like when I would like, I guess like they felt like I was judging them, and I was judging them, and they'd be like, you can't judge me for using like slang or whatever, or saying the N-word, because those types always like to do that. And I'm judging you because like, why are you acting like this? You don't talk like this around your like family. And I would call them out. I'm like, but you don't talk like that around like your family or like even your other brother or sister. And they'd be like, so that's just how I talk. That's just how I talk. And I'm like, but you don't talk like that around your family, so I don't understand why you're talking like that. But anyway, they would get so mad that like I didn't want to be around them. And they'd be like, you're trying to act like you're better than me. You're not white. I'm like, I don't want to be. I like being what I am, but also I don't want to be around you, because like it was just annoying. One, it's embarrassing to be around people like that because it looks like you condone it and you don't, obviously, right? Like you don't condone that. And then two, it's just like we have nothing in common. Like we have nothing in common at all. Like, oh yeah, you like R&B music and so do I, but that's not anything in common. And they would get mad and like try to fight me to like look cool, to like to make themselves look or appear tough to like the hood kids. It didn't matter what race, because I was in a very diverse neighborhood, but it was like they wanted to look cool and like a gangster to them, so they would try to fight me because they felt like I was weaker, because like, you know, that trope of or whatever. And I was quiet, like I'm not a fighter, I'm not gonna lie, like, so they would use that to their advantage, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fight her to make myself look like I'm a gangster or whatever. And it was just like so annoying. And they will always like, oh my god, like they would always try like pick me out. Like they would just stare me down. Like they would like, oh my goodness, like they try to fight me so much. Like they would try to stare me down and they would be like, who was that, and I'm like, why do you talk like that? Oh my goodness, they would come up to me and be like, why do you talk like that? And I'm like, I talk like I don't know, like I just talk like everyone else I know, like I don't know. And they'd be like, you're not white, again, like I said earlier. And I'm like, I don't want to be. And I'm like, yeah, you do, everyone does. And I'm like, you have a lot of issues. And then, like, I'll just turn it back on them and be like, why do you talk like that? Are you acting this way because, like, you know, you don't fit in with the rest of your people? And then, like, I love my friends because, like, I have, like, white friends, black friends, whatever. But, like, the white people would call them out on, like, you don't even talk like that. And it would just be so funny. But, yeah, these girls always tried to fight me. Like, for no reason. Just, well, I guess for the reason was because they wanted to look cool or whatever to, the other kids. And they wanted to put on this, like, persona. I think we, like, see them all the, time online. Where, like, it's a meme about them now of, like, how they always try to, like, be tough or whatever. I don't know. They were really insufferable. And it's just crazy that every school had, like, these kids. Like, they became a trope. Just like there was a trope of, like, you know, preppy people or emo kids or, like, you know, the quiet mixed kids. I guess I was one of those, like, the band. Like, I wasn't in band, but I was... Well, actually, I was in, kind of like a band. But it wasn't actually band. It was just a music class. And, yeah, like, people like that, we all have our different tropes. But it's just crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think these were a trope before the 2000s. But they were vicious in our era. I don't know if they're still around. I hope not. Because they were insufferable. And I don't know. Like, they would try to bully me to, again, like, look cool. And... I'm like the type of person where, like, if you try to bully me, I'm just gonna keep saying the truth to, like, make you mad, because it's not even to make you mad. It's just like, why are you bothering me? So now I have to tell you the truth and, like, hurt your feelings. And I'm not even trying to. I'm just like, oh, like, are you mad at me because, like, you want to look cool in front of these people and they don't care about you and they're not threatened by you and they're, like, being rude to you, so you're trying to use me as an example so you look like a gangster? And they would get so mad and, like, turn red and, like, oh, this bitch, oh, this it's not funny. It's not funny, but it's like, you ever see those girls in class who be like, oh, but, like, they're not doing anything? They were like that. And I'm not a fighter, so, like, I never pretended to be one. I'm just gonna, like, defend myself verbally. If you put your hands on me, I'm gonna press charges. It's really that simple. Like, if, like, I'll fight back, like, if I have to, but, like, that's not my goal. My goal is to not be touched. I don't like people touching me. But no, it was just, like, so often, like, I have so many instances. Like, every school that I went to, they did this crap. It was always them. Like, it was, like, mainly them. And, like, obviously people would defend me, but it's, like, at a certain point, like, it's not really their fight. Like, they would defend me, but at the same time, it's, like, it was obsessive. Like, people would tell, like, the teachers, because it's, like, obviously I'm verbally defending myself. But sometimes teachers, it was just one teacher, she was mad at me because her husband was, like, a PDF file who kept trying to get me to come to his car. She, like, would try to egg it on. I hate teachers like that. Like, don't bring your PDF files to, like, the schools and then get mad when they try to talk to girls. I mean, like, get mad at him. Don't get mad at us. Like, you're such a weirdo. Anyway, like, I know, like, a lot of girls that went through that. Like, those teachers are admins who, like, have beef with a literal child. And there's always jealousy. Like, no one wants your husband. I promise you that. Do you even want him? I don't know. That was crazy. That was a crazy situation. But anyway, those type of girls would, like, start stuff with all the quiet kids. Yeah, it wasn't just me. Like, it was, like, all the quiet kids or, like, the girly girls. Because, like, I think that shows. I'm, like, a girly girl. And they felt like we were easy targets because we're not confrontational. We're not, like, fighters. Like, why would we want to fight you? No one knows what you have going on. That's gross. Like, I'm not, like, ew, leave me alone. Like, that's so insane. So they would try to, like, ew, like, I remember this one girl put, like, a hot Cheeto, like, a soggy hot Cheeto on my hoodie, and I was like, you were disgusting. Like, I just lit into her verbally, and then she was, like, crying, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, this girl is harassing me every single day, and y'all act like it's way. They're like, oh, well, she's just jealous. It's like, she was mad that people liked me. Like, I was kind to people, so they were kind back to me, and people didn't like her because of her personality. And she was like, well, I don't understand, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why don't people like me? And I was like, you're being obnoxious, just be nice. Like, it's really that simple. And she's like, well, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna, like, she was so, I guess she didn't want to seem like a poser, but it's like, we already know you're a poser, so just stop being a poser. I don't know, but I guess, like, in her mind, she just couldn't stop because she didn't want to, like, prove people right, I guess. But I don't know. People just were nice to us because, like, it was like me, it was my other friend, like, it was like different races, like me, my other friend, like my Asian friend, my black friends, like we were like girly girls, calm, there was nerds, it didn't matter. They will always try to harass us because they felt like we were easy targets. But they did it, like, a lot to me, and they would say it was because, like, I felt like because, like, me being mixed, they felt like it was, like, a safe option. Because, like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it was, like, I don't know. Like, if they attack, like, the preppier white girls, they're gonna contact, like, the admin immediately. If they attack, like, the black girls, they're gonna, like, have sisters who are gonna, like, fight for them. And sometimes they attack, like, the quiet mixed kids or, like, the girly girl mixed kids because they feel like we're a safe option, right? Like, we're kind of, like, out on our own. Or, like, the Asian kids, too. They'll do it to, like, the quiet Asian kids, too. But primarily, if they want to fit in and put on, like, that gangster persona, they're going to attack the mixed kid. I don't know what that's about. Like, well, I do know what that's about, but, like, it's just so insufferable. Because it was, like, honestly, this still happens, like, when, like, I go out in public. Like, that girl who wants to put on that gangster, like, persona, they will always target me because, like, that's not my personality. So, like, and they'll call me uppity. Like, they'll try to talk so much crap and be like, yeah, like, she thinks she's all that because I'm being quiet. And I'm like, I like myself. Like, I'm into my own self. And they'll take that as an excuse to attack me. And I'm just like, girl, leave me alone. Like, I am not worried about you. Have fun. Like, it's not that deep. But I'm not the only one who went through this. I always think it's funny when I see those memes because it's like, I don't know, like, it's obviously I didn't want anyone else to go through this. When everyone says, like, they experienced the same thing because, like, they were, like, say, like, a quiet person or they were quiet POC or they were like, mixed people, we just got it so bad because, like, of course, like, they feel like we're close enough to them to where they can, like, you know, punch, like, at us. That way, you know, they can fit in with other crowds. And they still didn't like her. Like, it didn't matter. Like, some of them did. Like, some of them had, like, animosity towards me for no reason just because I was quiet. So being quiet made me stuck up. Or if like, you wore a lip gloss or something, even though they wore lip gloss, they would be like, oh, you think you're all that. And it's like, why does it matter to you? You clearly think you're wearing lip gloss, I'm wearing lip gloss. Why is this such an issue when I do it? It was so weird. But yeah, this still happens, like, in workplaces. That's why I hate working places where, like, the hood Cheeto eating, like, Cookie Monster pajama pants girl works or is, because they're so freaking insufferable and they don't stop. Like, it's like like, you're the target and they're gonna keep harassing you and try to make you like I don't know. It's like, why would you want someone to cry? Why would you want someone to, like, quit their job? Why I understand if you want someone to quit because you want to, like, be the only person there who, I don't know, I don't get it, because I don't bother them, but they want to use me as a target, and they want to, like, get in good graces with, like, you know what this crazy thing is? They would try to get in good graces with, like, black people by, like, attacking me, like, oh, she thinks she's all that, or, like, using talking points that they've heard other people use, and it's like, the black people I work with was like, that's fucking weird. She's just quiet. Like, she's just a nice girl. Like, why are you doing that? Like, they tried to use me as an scapegoat to get close to them. And it's like, they're still not going to like you. Like, they're still not going to accept you. So, like, let it go. But it's weird. Like, how are you trying to bully me, but at the same time, you're trying to, like, force a friendship? What? Like, that makes no sense to me. Like, if you don't like me, just stay away from me. That. You know what's crazy? One of my other story times, this is the type of girl that I'm talking about. She was one of those. And it was just like, please just stop. Like, it's annoying. Just be yourself. Like, I'm always myself. Like, I'm always girly girl. Like, I'm always, like, gonna be, like, a girly girl. And even when I'm mad, like, I'm just gonna be myself. I don't know. I don't get that. I don't get the whole, like, switching up thing. I remember this one time I was with a friend who, she kind of was one of these people, but, like, she, like, forced a friendship. I made a video about this before, but she met these other two girls, and, like, they tried to exclude me, which I didn't care, because, like, it was, like, a bunch of guys, and she was, like, they were, like, had this attitude, like, they were staring me down, and then they were, like, oh, I'm blacker than you, and I'm, like, ew, like, don't say that to me, like, that's weird, like, and I don't care, like, leave me alone. And they were, like, why do you act like that? Like, they always would say that, why do you act like that? And it's like, act like what? And they're like, where are you from? Like, with this strong attitude. I'm just like, I don't even know you. Who do you think you are? I keep saying that because someone said that to me. They were like, who do you think you are? And it just keeps, I don't know, it's stuck in my head. But it was like so insane to me that like someone would question like who I am. I don't know. I just feel like that's so weird to me. Like, they had such vitriol towards me, and I didn't even know them. And they had like these dirty bear claw. Is that what they call it? I don't know. They had like these boots on, and like the boys were laughing at them, and I didn't care because like I wasn't involved. They had already been rude to me. I'm like, leave me alone. And they were like, yeah, everyone wants to wear bear claws like us. And I just like looked down and was like, no. And like they got so offended. Like, I don't know, I guess they were used to bullying people in that area because they felt like they came from a better neighborhood, but so did I. So I'm like, girl, please leave me alone. Like, I don't care. They would assumed the way I talked was talking white. And I was like, one, you realize I'm half white, right? Like, you sound stupid. And then they would try to, like, if I, like, hung around, like, the other kids who were, like, black, or teenagers who were black, they'd be like, you're not even black. And I'm like, okay. And they'd be like, and then if I hung around white people, they'd be like, yeah, you're not white. I'm just like, you want to, like, tell me what I am as if I can't see it. Why are you talking to me? And then they would get, like, an attitude and, like, scoff. Like, they were so offended that, like, was not fazed by them. I don't care. Just leave me alone. Like, it's not that deep. But it is funny, though, when you think about it. It's not funny. Because, like, I shouldn't have been put in that situation. But it is funny because it's like, who does that? You know what I mean? Like, that's actually insane. But, yeah, that's just my little story time. It's, like, so many. I think I'm going to make a part 2. Because I have, like, a few stories of these types. And I love story times. Like, I just love talking about these kind of things because it was crazy going through it. And I don't know, like, I could talk to my siblings, but, like, they experienced it themselves. I could talk to, like, my friends, but they've experienced it, so it's, like, I don't know, I like to talk about it online, see who else has experienced it. So, if you've experienced this, let me know. It was actually insane, and I hope those girls are doing better. I've seen some of them, and they actually apologized to me. So if you apologize to me, I'm not I am talking about what you did to me, but I'm not mad at you. It was just like insane to go through. And then I see the girls online who are like, they used to be this type, and they're like so embarrassed. And I get that too. Like, I get it because like they did something that was like really embarrassing. And hopefully they changed their life around. Because that was weird and cringy. Oh my goodness. And to piggyback off of what I was saying about one of the girls who walked up to me and was like, I have to be her friend. She like threatened me. She's like, yeah, oh yeah, you're gonna be my friend, right? And one of the girls, she was like, girl, I'll beat you up. And I was like, and I'll tell your mother. And she was like, you're a snitch. And I was like, I don't care. And I guess that was strange for them in that neighborhood because they weren't used to that. I genuinely didn't care. Leave me alone. Then they started calling me a cop caller. I was like, proudly, leave me alone. You're weird. And then she was like, they're not going to help you. And I was like, bet. Well, let's find out. Like, let's test that theory. And then she like left me alone. And the teacher like came and was like, I'm so sorry. That girl's crazy. Yeah, that teacher was really nice. But I don't know. It was like so many situations where these girls harassed me. Because I don't know. They're everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go to school at. Like, they're everywhere. You can't escape those type. I don't really see why they think it's like cool though to do that. Like, what I'm saying is, like, I don't get the phase of being, like, the hood, like, Caucasian. But I am proud of the girls who were, like, I was cool with, like, a lot of girls who, like, would call them out on it. Because it was, like, embarrassing. And they were offended by what they were doing. Like, and their parents will always apologize to me for them. And I'm just, like, I don't really, like, I just want to be left alone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, thank you for apologizing, but I really just want that person to leave me alone. Like, I hope they heal, but I didn't want to deal with it at the same time. But, yeah, let me know if this has ever happened to you. It was crazy. See you in the comments. And why did these girls always want to have like mixed children? And they would tell me that they would be like, yeah, I'm gonna have a mixed baby just like you, but she's not gonna be stuck up like you. And I'm like, I'm not. And like, I guess like when I was younger, I really didn't want to come off as like being like that. Like I'm not, like, I'm nice unless you're mean to me. So it was like, I'm like, but I realized that they were using it to like manipulate me, to like gaslight me and guilt trip me into being like overly nice to them. And then I would get mad at that, and then I would start being rude, because it's like, okay, like you're doing this to be manipulative. Or they'd be like, oh yeah, I'll go with my hair, can I touch your hair? And like I'll be like, no, I'm gonna touch it anyway, and like pull on my hair and like try to mess it up and like fluff my hair up. And I'm like, it's okay, because I could just wet it and it'll go back curly. Go scrunch your hair. And then they would get mad, they would get so offended, and like, you can't say that to me, like, as if they have some type of power over me. And I'm like, I just did. What are you going to do about it? Like, I don't know. And then I'm not going to lie, people in the class loved it. Like, in the class and when I was at work, loved that I would, like, say something back to them. Because, I don't know, I guess, like, they didn't want to, or they didn't feel like dealing with them. But they loved when I would say something back to them. Like, they would be like, I'm so glad you said it, because I wanted to say it. Thank you for saying it. And I'd be like, why didn't you just say it? Like, why do I have to be the one to do it? They're agitating me. It's so annoying. And they always have mixed children. Like, they always have mixed children. And it's just, like, so embarrassing, because, like, you're gonna... oh, my goodness. No one wants to deal with that kind of person, especially, like, their poor children. That person as a mom, oh, my goodness. That's gotta be the worst. But you know what's funny? Those type of girls, like, a lot of them end up being, like, super alt-right. Like, super in, like, I don't know. They'll have a mixed kid, but they'll end up turning into, like, a whole, like, you know. I have to be like, I'm all for being conservative, but y'all take it to the extreme. I guess you're trying to make up for, like, what you did in your youth. Because I know a lot of them are embarrassed. They're like, I'm so embarrassed by my youth. Like, I don't really want to... Once they feel like they found a crowd that they're accepted within, like, their whatever, like, their society, they'll switch up. And they should go back to, like, being a normal person, but, like, they'll overdo it because they're trying to overcompensate, and it's just, like, insane to watch. But yeah, like, let me know, have you experienced this? I think a lot of us have. See you in the comments.